Over the past few decades, the school system has undergone a dramatic revolution. Today, the role of education is no longer to prepare students for factory work but rather to encourage and nurture their unique personalities and foster creativity. In many ways, contemporary schools are broken. They cannot help students develop their strengths and aptitudes to achieve their best outcomes. The modern school system was created in response to the economic needs of the Industrial Revolution. Before then, only wealthy people could afford to receive an education, but as new industries demanded new skills, like reading, doing simple math, and understanding technical information, it became clear that something had to be done. In schools, the students' individuality and creativity are quashed in favor of conformity, compliance, and linear methods of operation. Due to this systemic failure, students who want a more personalized approach to education, or who are simply strong in a STEM subject rather than arts, are left behind. Then came the PISA. In 2000, the Program for International Student Assessment tested 15-year-old students in 32 countries. The PISA's creators thought they could measure each country's educational system by testing its students. After several Western countries performed poorly on international tests, in the 1990s, many countries sought to replicate the quantitative results of countries like Japan, Germany, and Singapore. So they measured everything that came out of their educational systems. Entire curricula were mapped out, and new syllabi were drawn up with strict standards that students had to meet by specific grades. Every student learns differently, so many schools have already begun to change their education models. Some schools are beginning to realize that classrooms of half a dozen students sitting at desks, listening to instructions, and taking notes might not be the best way for all children to learn. Most schools treat all students the same. Each student is expected to learn in the same way, expect the same level. This might be fine if all students learn simultaneously, and even though some are advanced in math, others need help with reading. The failures of the standards movement are apparent. Calling it a limited and limiting approach is more like training. Tests don't measure a student's creativity or ability to engage with their environment. Those who learn to pass tests don't think critically or solve problems. One of the biggest problems with modern education is prioritizing test scores and other quantifiable data. But what about things that can't be measured, like critical thinking skills and creativity? Organic schools exist because they know the importance of sustainable education. They're dedicated to creating learning experiences that nurture holistic development, as we are ending an ecological system that supports student growth. By integrating technology and employing environmentally conscious practices, these schools cultivate an open-ended learning environment that fosters math and reading skills and boosts character traits like empathy and compassion. Children acquire considerable skills as they grow in an organic education environment. They practice collaboration, learn to solve problems, develop their passions and talent, and gain the capacity to make moral decisions. Moreover, students learn empathy through compassionately treating one another with care.